Hajia Fateema Mohammed. Some people love to call her Atiku. I think I took up that Atiku part from Lagos. He's originally from Borno State. I am from Biu local government. That's the brass speaking part of Borno State. My mom is Delta, ironically. It's just my kids that are Southwesterners, you know. Hajia Fateema Mohammed is a businesswoman. She's the CEO of Unstoppable Handlers. It's a comprehensive drink company. She's, people say she's a philanthropist. I don't know. But I know she's human. She's a humanitarian. Somebody who believes in giving people a new lease of life. Somebody who believes in palliating people's pains. Because I know that no single individual can alleviate poverty. You can cushion the effect. You can palliate it. And you know, you can make it such, you know, in such a way that it will just, you can, you know, just live above the dollar per day. That has been my goal, my vision, and have been working towards it. Fateema Mohammed has the Pachinos Foundation. Okay. I started the Jimmy Agbaje outreach. I coordinated it. I originated it. This was after the 2007 elections. And Jimmy Agbaje is somebody that I believe so much in. He taught me another kind of politics. But I made bold to say that my political icon, my father, is Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu. He's taught me how to be rugged, you know, in politics as a politician. You know, and despite the fact that I have sojourned and I have left his party to another party, he's remained very humane and he's played fatherly roles at every point in time when he had to be a father. And you know, in the course of my politicking, I met Jimmy Agbaje. And behold, I was introduced to another kind of politicking. And that politicking has given me a drive. Jimmy says to you all the time that Fateema, governance is doable and achievable to the electorate. That means you must do things that will endear you into the hearts of the electorate. And that's what happened when I contested in 2016, last year. I ran for House of Representatives in Viron, Ifako-Ijai, federal constituency. And that experience made me realize that indeed I had, you know, been able to entrench myself in the hearts of the electorate of that particular federal constituency. I am glad for the opportunity they gave me to prove myself. Even if at the end of the day my name was removed from INEC, I won my primaries free and square. It's nothing like that has happened in Ifako-Ijai. And the day of the election, December 3rd, 2016, is one that everybody in Ifako-Ijai will not forget. People refused to come out. The turnout was so low. We have over 340 something registered voters. And we had only about 7,000 people out of 300 and something.
That's the July 22?
That's, no, that's the December 3rd.
Okay, December 3rd last year.
People brought out placards and they said, no Fateema, no vote. She's not contesting these elections, we will not vote for her. From both parties. So that particular election made me realize the fact that it's no longer about political parties. It is now about the personalities involved. And so I think that really shaped me. Oh yes, it's going to be personality oriented. You would build up. I am in the People's Democratic Party. I'm a card-carrying member. I am very proud to be in PDP. But I am in the forefront for Atiku because I believe in his ideals, his principles. I believe in what he represents.
Why do you believe?
Yes, because I've had a reason to look through him before I even met him. And I saw that this is somebody who believes in giving the youths a new lease. He wants to create an enabling environment. Atiku says, my government will be made of about 30–40% of the youths. The youths and the women. He's saying that it's no longer about the it's no longer about the elites. It's not about the electorate, the downtrodden. It's about giving people, you know, a sense of belonging. And he's saying, oh, my ministers will not be more than 45, 40, 45, 35. Just be people, oh yes, in terms of age. Youths that can add to his government. Deliver. People who would add value. You know, people would give you good governance when you would say that, oh yes, this governance is doable. And you know, some people say, oh, it's too old and all of that. That's fine. And that's why I was speaking somewhere about 2 weeks ago. We're talking about not too young to run, not too old to rule. Atiku started his sojourn when he was 46. And then his political father then called him. And that's why what we're talking about then is you must stand up for what you believe in. Do not let anyone, no matter what influence they have over you politically, do not let them shut you up. You know, Atiku then was shut up by his father, whom he respected so much, the senior Yaradua, said, oh,
General
Abubakar, yes, General Shehu, Abubakar, not to worry, you're just 46, you still have time on your side. And so he stepped aside. Every time, they kept giving him a reason why he should step aside. And I think my respect for him deepened in 2015. It was so obvious that he had been schemed out the night before primaries. And some people went to him and said, Excellency, I don't think you should go for the primaries. And he said, why? I have to be there to deepen democracy. And that won my heart. Same thing happened in 2011. When during the Jonathan first advent, he said, no, they told him, Excellency, you have been schemed out. He said, I know, but I have to be there to deepen democracy. You know, and that made me see a man who is far beyond, he's not power drunk. It's not about the money. He's done well for himself. All of the companies that Atiku Abubakar has are companies that he had established before he even came into government at all. Some companies 87, some 89. Even before he came on in 99, he is a shrewd businessman. Everybody who knows him knows that internationally, locally, and he immerses himself, in his business, and he's done so well for himself. So that particular statement just endeared him to me. He said, I have to deepen democracy. He says, if I do not go for that primaries, I will not give credibility to it. The international communities are watching. A lot of people are watching. If I refuse to show up for that primaries, people would say, oh, he wasn't credible. He wasn't properly done. I'll put my party in jeopardy. I don't want to do that. So he was a man that, when you speak to him, you will know that beyond greed and being power drunk, he just wants democracy to thrive. And that's why he's been in the forefront of campaigning and clamoring for restructuring. I'm starting my reaction by laughing.
Why?
When they say that he's a serial trialist, the present president of Nigeria, PMB, has contested 4 times. And if we didn't see him as power drunk, why would seeing an Atiku who is a change agent as power drunk? The president contested this last time when he was 72. And Nigerians went to the polls and voted him. So I don't understand what they mean by him wanting. You see, that brings me back to what I said initially. Okay. Do not, when you have a dream, run with it. It's for an appointed time. It might tarry, but it will surely come to pass. If they did not attempt to trample his dream then when he was 46, he would have been president. He would have given us the dividends of democracy. There would have been a total change and a turnaround that would have put our lives, in a better shape than it is today. That dream and the vision he had as a young man, that dream keeps driving him. That's the thing about a dream. When you have a dream and God gives you the vision to sustain that dream, you will keep aspiring until you fulfill it.
But let me also ask you, since the issue of Hajia Fateema came up 2 weeks ago, the politics has been so hot. Those for and those against Atiku Abubakar, those for and those against President Muhammad Buhari. And yesterday, I think Sahara reporter did a poll and said, okay, if election is today and you have President Muhammad Buhari and Atiku Abubakar contesting, who are you going to vote for? And there was a...
and that poll never went.
No, the poll. No
matter how much they kept voting, it was static. Anyway, I do not give credence
there was 12% for
seriousness.
Atiku, and there was 43% for Buhari, and there was 45% for those that were indifferent to that poll. Yeah, so
thank you.
What do you think?
I would not take a Sahara reporter, their reports, their board, their scoreboard, or anything that they do. I would not particularly take them seriously. Maybe something is just wrong somewhere. So that's his scoreboard is not what Nigerians are following.
Are you sure?
In fact, it's a shame.
Are you sure?
It's a shame for 45 Nigerians to be indifferent. It's a shame. If that, oh yes, for 45% of Nigerians to be indifferent, even higher than the supposed winner. So it's a great cause for concern.
But the 12%, what do we do with that?
The 12% never came. You said the thing is people kept voting.
Okay.
But the scoreboard never changed. But you say we're used to such things. These things happen all of the time. But it's not.
So you feel
what happens in the scoreboard of Sahara reporters is different from what happens amongst the grassroots. It's not what happens on the field of play. So the scoreboard on social media is not same. Buhari not also a member of the old order? It's funny. You see, I love his fight. Because he remains my president. I tell people, I said, I am PDP, but PMB remains the president of this country. For as long as I am a Nigerian, he is my president. And so I want to commend his person, you know, given his person and his personality. But unfortunately, governance is beyond my person, my ideology, my ideals.
So what's governance?
Thank you. Governance has a lot of hangers on. You have a lot of people who are going to be saying, this is what you should do, this is how you should do it, and then they keep confusing you. His health, you know, state hasn't helped matters a lot. I pray that God grants him, long life, good health, you know, and all of that. But the fight for corruption has been lopsided.
How do you mean?
Thank you very much. Lopsided. You don't fight corruption. You don't come out fighting corruption by fighting your opposition party.
Okay, section?
Or you don't sectionalize corruption. There are a lot of people. You know, it took 6 months for the government to be formed, and we kept waiting because for me, I was expecting to find technocrats who would come and turn around our economy. And they said that everybody who was in the PDP were corrupt, who were thieves, who were armed robbers. Unfortunately, by the time the cabinet was put up, we had our quotes, in quotes and out of quotes, the people that they supposedly called armed robbers, they were back in the cabinet, and I couldn't understand it.
Okay.
Because I'm saying, if you said that Anamechi was corrupt because he was in PDP, now he's a minister in APC, has he suddenly become a saint? I don't get it. You know, there are a lot of people who had screamed high heavens, oh, he shouldn't be. No. That's why I say I respect PMP. I respect him. He's a wonderful father. But governance is beyond one person. It's not a one-man show. You have a lot of hangers on who have, you know, vindictive reasons to want to put people, to silence people, to shut people up, and then you keep taking it on one side. And, you know, Nigerians are not bored.
Okay.
So we don't need any Telemundo series. We are hungry. All of the monies that they are finding around, will not ever see the end of it. You get the story of the Ikoyi, you know, and they just make us look like fools. But we're very intelligent people in Nigeria. The money that was found in Legico, I don't get it. We are not bored, we are hungry. By saying I'm doffing my hats for her. And I'll give you my reasons.
How do you mean, man?
Thank you. You see, I love people who are forthright. I love people who will say, it's not about what you're going to give me. It's about what I can see. You see, no matter how you intend to package loyalty, if you are not loyal, you are not loyal. I don't like bootlickers. I like you to say it just the way it is. I've told you initially, I said, no matter what anybody says about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he remains my father and my hero. Because he gave me an opportunity. Do you understand?
Okay, ma'am.
Even if I do not agree with him on some things, he doesn't take that shine away from him. And that's what I'm saying about Hajia Fateema. I doff my hats for her. This is one woman who says, Atiku is my benefactor. I believe in what he represents. I have no reason to say I will not support him. I have no reason to work against him. If he comes out to contest, I am going to vote for him. That is what she believes in. That is what she represents. That is what she stands for. Do you understand? I don't think she has said anything out of place. In any case, the current president has not come out to say, I am running again.
Okay.
But she has said, thank you for giving me an opportunity to serve.
The body language, does this suggest that it's not coming out to run again?
Well, you know, the thing is, in politics, you don't really read body languages. Until you come out verbatim and say, I am coming to contest. You don't really follow body languages. Because sometimes political body languages can lead you into, you just find out that you're following the wrong, you know, you get off the reel and then you don't even get it anymore. So I don't think she has said anything out of place. She has seen him as her benefactor. She has seen values in him. People have said to me, oh, Fatima, you're doing anti-party. And I laugh at them. Okay. I said, what do you mean by anti-party?
Okay, what?
I said, don't tell me about anti-party.
Can you define what's the meaning of anti-party?
Oh, they said, yeah, I am PDP and I am Director General for Atiku. And I said, what do you mean by that?
Okay.
I am not doing anti-party. I believe in Atiku and what he represents. Atiku has been the only one shouting and clamoring for restructuring. Atiku has said we don't have to have 40 ministries. What is the Minister of Works, for example, doing in Abuja? That's what Atiku is saying. Let each state be responsible. That's what we call restructuring. Let each state be responsible for their roads.
But a lot of people also agree that Atiku as the vice president of Obasanjo that regime was silent on restructuring. So why?
I do not agree with you.
So
Atiku, as vice president, put
why
up
is he now
a good economic team. And that economic team today, you would find out that even El Rufai,
okay,
has been one of those who commended him highly then when he was his benefactor. Atiku has always represented restructuring. He says all the time, he says, there's no need for us to go to Bayelsa and Delta and make them make all the money. We use their money to feed. We use their money to live large. And then they're so impoverished. He's saying spread all of these things equally. Let it be equally done. Let equity be our watchword. This way we won't have issues. He says he doesn't need more than 6 ministries in Abuja. 6, 7. Every state be responsible. That's why you get to some places, if you're going towards the Abeokuta Road.
Yes, sir. Yes,
the old Abeokuta Road.
Yeah.
You get some places, the Lagos government has done this. And I know that's the federal road. We don't need such things. If we had all our finances penciled down to each ministry of each state, then you'll find out that the government will work. And there would indeed be dividends of democracy.
Development?
There would be development. A lot of development. You won't find roads where you say, it's a federal road, it's a state road. It's like shelving responsibilities. This will not happen if the Minister for Works is not in Abuja. I mean, you put the Minister for Housing in Abuja. Is the Minister for Housing going to be responsible for houses in Ikorodu? How much does he know about Ishefo in Alimosho local government? How much does he know about Chokoro in Fakweja local government? How much does he know about some other places? Amu Wardofin, Ajeromi. He doesn't know.
So how does he know?
Likewise, what we are saying is take the Ministry of Housing, put all of their quotas in the states.
Okay. Syndication?
Thank you. Syndicate it and ensure that the states are providing, give them a prototype. This is what we want you to provide at such and such and such a time to better the lot of the people living in your state. And you'll find out that the country will move forward.
So that's what Atiku represents?
That's what Atiku represents. Total restructuring.